An opening day defeat by Everton yesterday, and the need for a striker became apparent, according to Jose Mourinho. Let's listen to what he had to say following links with Trabzonspor's Alexander Sortloth.
Well, I'm not going to discuss Sortloth. He's the president of Trabzonspor. Told that. I'm nobody to say that is not true. But I think Sortloth is a Trabzonspor player, and it's not for me to speak about him.
Right, OK, get involved at home using the hashtag TransferTalk. Tottenham fans, we want to hear from you. We know that Jose Mourinho wants a new striker. What do you think? All right, he was asked there about Alexander Sortloth. Mark, tell us a bit more about him, because we do know him in the Premier League.
Yeah, we do. Only one game in, but it's probably fair to say that Spurs fans will be waking up pretty miserable this morning, especially after yesterday's performance. But what's the one thing that would bring a smile to the faces of Tottenham fans? Michael?
A new signing.
Yeah. No, say it with a bit more enthusiasm.
A new signing.
Spot on, yes. Tottenham still very much in the hunt for competition for Harry Kane and haven't really replaced Fernando Llorente. The man they've been linked with, as you say, Tom, is the former Crystal Palace striker, or current Crystal Palace striker, Alexander Sortloth. Now, whilst his stats at Palace won't excite Spurs fans, the ones from last season certainly will. Let's take a look. 20 games, 8 starts. Where we go.
Yeah, that was at Palace, but this is the Trabzonspor ones that will excite the fans.
Absolutely, yeah. You look at these stats, and these are the ones that will excite them, because when you look at the goals there, 33 goals with 124 minutes to goals ratio, that is pretty special. Like you say, probably best we didn't see the Palace ones. They went through the screen very quickly, but that's the ones you need to look at. 33 goals in 39 games. He is a player that most certainly will get the juices flowing in North London.
Yeah, and the thing is, Sortloth is who Tottenham are linked with, all right? But Michael, it actually would be a far more complicated deal. Just explain that.
Yeah, potentially, and a rather confusing one. Look, this is how I see it. He's on a 2-year loan deal at Trabzonspor. The deal involved is an option to buy of around £5 million if he plays 50% of their games this season. But it looks like Trabzonspor will buy him regardless. Now, as we've just seen there in the graphics, a Golden Boot winner in Turkey. No one at Palace, no, not one supporter or official, would have expected this to happen, Sortloth's form in Turkey. Earlier in the summer, I tweeted that RB Leipzig were looking to sign Sortloth, which came as a real surprise. Leipzig, of course, have money to spend after selling Timo Werner to Chelsea. Now, Trabzonspor, as I've said, they can make Sortloth's loan permanent and then negotiate with Leipzig or Tottenham Hotspur, completely out of the blue. Now, also worth noting, he didn't return to training for Trabzonspor after the international fixtures in midweek. Now, there was a list of around 6 to 7 strikers Tottenham are looking at, were keen on, serious interest in, but Sortloth, to my understanding, wasn't on that list. So this really has come out of the blue. All right, and in terms of a striker, would it be fair to say, Michael, that the Tottenham definitely need a striker? There's a tweet come in from DJ Jordan Love. He says, even though he's an Everton supporter, Tottenham really struggled to push and test the Everton defence, looked lazy and too relaxed. I think a striker would definitely benefit their squad. So that's even from an Everton fan. What are the Tottenham fans thinking? Look, Tottenham fans, very, very disappointed yesterday. It's very easy to get carried away after one game, but it was a very poor performance. We can't get away from that. And Jose Mourinho said himself, Spurs need a striker. He said it on Friday. Everyone knows they need a striker. He said Harry Kane only trained once in pre-season. He said this in the post-match yesterday. No striker to come off the bench and make a difference. Let's not forget, Tottenham have a horrendous run of fixtures now coming up in the Europa League qualifiers. They've got to go to Bulgaria on Thursday, and they've got the Carabao Cup games coming. It's also very easy to look at the lineup and say Spurs do have attacking options. Lucas Moura, Steven Bergwijn, Dele Alli. But they're struggling to score. Even Son himself only scored 2 after Project Restart. So problems. They don't just need a striker. They need quite a bit more, if you ask me. Well, we'll get to that in a second, Mark. There's an account called Hip Hop Back in the Day has said that Gareth Bale would bring a smile to all of the Tottenham fans' faces. A lot of people have been saying that on Twitter as well. Keep these suggestions coming in. Keep your thoughts coming in, rather. But, Mark, as Michael just said there,
it's not just a striker they need. That's what we're hearing as well.
Yeah, Michael is passionate best there when it comes to Spurs. When you look at the goals for column for Tottenham last season, I think it tells you all you need to know, really. Finishing the top 6, yes, but only managed 61 goals in the Premier League last season. That's 24 behind Liverpool and 41 behind hotshots Manchester City. The pressure's really on Harry Kane, but Kane needs a new Christian Eriksen, I think. It's fair to say that this summer, like last summer, we were talking about Bruno Fernandes to Tottenham. Spurs had him in the palm of their hands. He said his goodbyes to everyone at Sporting Lisbon. The deal was done, but it never happened. Safe to say everyone in North London will be gutted at seeing Fernandes do so well at Manchester United, Michael. And it's only now a new striker that they need, a new creative force in the middle of the park. And this is a huge job for Mourinho, but if the one manager is out there that can get this right, it's Mourinho. Levy really needs to get his chequebook out.